Hello, guys. This is Osvaldo Rodriguez, and I'm gonna be talking a little bit about ancient history. And there is this question: why are there Buddhist statues in Pakistan? So let's talk a little bit about Pakistan. This is gonna be a little bit of a reminder of what we have been studying this semester so far. So Pakistan became a country after its separation from India in 1947. At that time, an enormous migration of Muslims from India to the new country began, but the territory had been possessed by different kingdoms, cultures, and groups many centuries ago. Even before that date, even emperors, conquistador, and one of them, and the subject of this presentation, is called Ashoka. So let's talk a little bit about Ashoka and how he became an emperor. So in the 3rd century before Christ, the Emperor Bindusara ruled over the India territory. That was his whole empire. And in that time, it was called the Maurya Empire. So he was the father of 3 children, Susima, Ashoka, and Tisha, who would rule with him. So during that time, the emperor would have like his children, and then he would send them to rule over little provinces in his empire to help him govern all the empire. So Ashoka, he was sent to govern first in Taxila, which was in the north part of the empire. And it was a big city there. He was a successful administrator, and because of that, his father sent him to govern over Ujjain. And Ujjain was one of the main cities. It was close to the ocean, it was close to all the other provinces, and because of that, it was a really important city. There is where he found love. He found his wife and he got married, and then he had 2 children. So he was being successful, he was being like, the favorite one. And later, like everything was going okay in the empire. And it says that the days where Ashoka ruled with peace and justice came to an end with the death of his father, the Emperor Bindusara, in 274 before Christ. After that happened, after his dad died, Ashoka and his brothers started fighting about who was going to rule over the empire um, with his father's death. The difference with that is that Ashoka was supported by the ministers his father had appointed, and in the fight against his brothers, he killed them, and he became the emperor in 270 before Christ. As the new emperor, Ashoka started to expand his empire through the conquering of territories and through war, and as it says here, in inevitable bloodshed. All what he could see at that point were victories and the expansion of his government. So what happened is that in order for the empire to keep growing and to be supported, he needed to resist taxes from all the territories. So as he expanded his territories, he needed more people to send to those places, and he needed money or a way to support them. So he started just like going to more places and getting more land and getting more properties. And he was in his bright uh, expansion, I would say, until one day in the year of 262 before Christ, Ashoka and his army marched to conquer the kingdom of Kalinga, who was in that part of the empire, as you guys can see. And it was a really important place. And the people that was there were really strong too. So they had probably the bloodiest fight that Ashoka could be a part of. They said that more than 100,000 people were slain from both his people and the Kalinga's people. He saw that many people lost their children, their husband, their wife, and a lot of famine and a lot of illness because of the fight. And when that happened, Ashoka realized what he had done. He saw his people and other people lying dead under his feet. Ashoka was filled with horror and remorse. He realized that what he had done was wrong, and that just like the anti-Nephi Lehi's in the Book of Mormon, he realized that he didn't want to fight again, that he just want to hide his weapons of war and started to make peace. So he knew he had to do something to get some kind of redemption for what he had done. He even admitted publicly that he felt remorse on having conquered Kalinga. It was probably his turning point, his day. He decided he was going to dedicate his wealth, his life, and his energy to build a different kind of society where people live by the rules of virtue and moral principle. And so his wife, he was a Buddhist. So he was being led, probably by her, into the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, which is better known as the Buddha. And Ashoka, what he did was to build statues of Buddha all over the place and to send missionaries all over the world to teach about Buddhism. And that's the reason why the Buddhism is so one of the biggest religions, because of all the money that this king and all the effort that this king that was repented after all the things that he did. So he sent these missionaries to teach all over the world. So in short, Ahsoka is the reason why there are many Buddhist statues in Muslim Pakistan. I hope you enjoy the presentation, and I'll see you later. Thank you for watching.